Well, good morning, guys. Backyard scrapping here. I was going to actually start the day out by going out to my little lab and doing some refining, but it's cold and rainy, and I really didn't feel like being out there, so I came into my little workshop and kind of was digging around in some stuff, and I found something I thought you guys might like to see. This was from way back in the day. Now, when I was a little kid, I had a little cheapy kid metal detector which barely did anything, and I never really found anything except the old couple of trash dumps, but I never found any coins. Well, some years back, around 1993, 94, I actually went to work at an old schoolhouse. It was converted to a bed and breakfast, and it had been a schoolhouse from, I don't know, I guess back in the 20s and 30s all the way through 1968. And anyway, this is a layout of the property. As you can see, I was kind of ridiculously into documenting stuff back then. But anyway, I just wanted to show you some of my metal detector finds from way back when. This place was called the Broad Axe Inn, and like I said, it was actually a converted schoolhouse, converted to a bed and breakfast. But anyway, after working there for a couple years, I would watch a couple of things on TV about metal detecting, and I figured, well, an old schoolhouse ought to be pretty good to find some coins, so I bought me a cheapy metal detector, which lasted for, actually it worked pretty good, but I only used it for about a week until I started finding stuff, and then I moved on up to something better, which was actually, I think it was a Bounty Hunter Tracker 2 that I had, and then I moved up to a sharpshooter and a coin shooter and all that stuff, and now I've got still some Bounty Hunters and an AT Pro and all that other stuff, which I'd actually like to get back on that property with the AT Pro. But anyway, there was my very first find at that school. It was a Mercury dime, and I found that on May 13th, 1995. A lot of you guys weren't even born then, but anyway, that was my very first find, and I was immediately hooked. But I just figured I'd show you guys some of the stuff that I had found there. I only hunted there for about a year, from May to I think April of 1996, but I found a pretty good little amount of coins. I found quite a bit more silver than I thought I would find, and right now I'm actually trying to see if I can get permission from the new owners to go back and hunt there again 20 some odd years later with my new detectors, because I'll bet you there's still a lot of stuff there that I missed. And in all the hunting there, I only found one buffalo nickel. As you can see on the other page, I found a couple Mercs and a Rosie and a Washington quarter. And then there's actually a little story behind these two quarters. These I kind of imagined was a little kid swiping money off his dad's dresser or wherever his dad put his wallet and change, because these, I actually found this one in the crook, in a little V crook of a great big oak tree. And it was way up in there, so you could tell the tree had kind of grown over it a little bit, but it was right in the little crook of the tree. There was another tree almost identical to that one, with almost an identical crook right next to it, or a little spot, you know, where the roots come down, and I found that one there. So it almost looks like it was a hidden treasure, you know what I mean? Because both of them were found by these two big trees that were side by side, and exactly these little indentions in the trees. But I often thought that that's what that was. That was actually some kid that swiped some change off his dad's desk or whatever, and then got scared and buried it. But as you can see here, some more Mercs. Then I found another thing that was interesting, and it was actually, I believe, all of these. Or there's a row of them where you'll see they're all dated the same that I found them, but it was a stack. And come to find out, the little girls, it was actually a stack of wheat pennies. all stuck together. I mean, when I took them out of the ground, they were stacked up. And come to find out, the owner, Ruthie, told me that back in the day, when these kids, you know, had to have their lunch money, the little boys had pockets, so they would lose the loose change. But the little girls, you know, they had dresses, so they didn't have pockets. And what they actually had was they would take the stack of pennies, and it would be rolled up in a paper or in a handkerchief or something like. So when they lost their lunch money, or when they were out playing in the playground and lost their money, it was actually the whole little stack that got lost. And I actually dug up 2 or 3 of those. It was actually stacked up, one right on top of the other. And that was pretty neat to find. But all this came from the old elf school. And that was a really neat find. I was like blown away when I found that. I never expected to find a Standing Liberty quarter. And that was a good day there. You can see a lot of pennies, but I found quite a bit of silver, a lot of mercuries, some more. This was actually a 1920D Standing Liberty, which is probably the rarest coin I've ever found metal detecting so far. A couple war nickels, not many nickels. I thought I would have found more nickels, but the nickels don't actually fare very well in the ground up here. I mean, they kind of deteriorate pretty quick. But I just thought you guys might like to see this. Make a little jolly video for a change. Another Merc, another Washington. And I know you guys see all this stuff all the time, but and then this was actually the last day I hunted there. Was on July 30th, 1996, and I found this Merc and this 51D wheat penny. And my dad actually found these two, which was kind of unique because this is a 1929 SLQ that he had found there one day using one of my extra detectors, and this was my mom's birth year coin, which is also a 1929. So I thought that was kind of neat that my dad actually found, the coin he found is the same year as a coin I've had since I was a little kid. That was actually my mom's birth year coin. These other ones came from a church that had been torn down not too far from where the school was, these little guys. And then this one I found, this is actually a medallion. I was out doing some gold prospecting in New Mexico with a friend of mine, and I had brought my metal detectors along, so he said, well, let's go hit this little ghost town he knew about, and it was called Wilson. Wilson, like the Wilson tennis balls and stuff like that, is in New Mexico. This was back in 2008, and we hunted and hunted and hunted that place, and we never found anything. So I got pretty frustrated. It was getting hot, and I just figured, well, I'm going to walk back to the car. Well, I accidentally left my detector on, and I was walking back to his little car, his little truck, and my detector went off as I was walking, because I was kind of just had it at my side as I was going back to the car, and sure enough, I found that silver medallion. But that was the only thing we found there. Well, anyway, guys, I just wanted to share that with you. I thought you might find it interesting. As you can see, I've had these for how long? Years, 20 years, 30 years, but everything I've ever found with my metal detector, I keep. It's kind of personal to me, so. And I'll let you guys know if I get back out on that property, if I can get with the new owners and see if they'll let me, you know, detect there again, and we can see with my new detectors, more modern and more updated, I'll bet you I'll probably find a whole bunch more there. Well, I just thought I would throw this up because, like I said, I was going to go out and do some refining, but the weather's bad. So, as you can see, I was very meticulous back then, not so much now. But in any case, I don't know if you can see that. This is our little collection of hold half dollars. I put them on key rings from coin roll hunts. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but anyway. Alright guys, I've got a video coming up that's probably going to be pretty interesting to a lot of you guys, especially you stackers and collectors. As soon as the stuff comes in that I ordered, I will get that video finished and get it up online, because it's going to have some really good information you guys need to know. Anyway, I'm going to let you all go, and I hope you enjoyed this little brief video about part of my collection. Have a good one, guys. Now, hey guys, I just wanted to throw in one more thing before I ended this video. I want to thank all you guys, my new subscribers, and I want to give a shout out to Coinman 5000, Lake House Beach. I mean, you guys are really helping out my channel and supporting my channel, so I just wanted to thank you guys, and again, thank all my new subscribers. I'm going to try and keep putting some content up. I've got a pretty busy schedule, but I'll get stuff up there as I can. And again, thanks to all of you, even names I didn't mention. I just really appreciate it. It's kind of neat to be in a little group of folks that, you know, look out for each other and help each other out. So I just wanted to throw that in there, guys. You guys have a good one, and like I said, look for that video that I'm going to be posting up. It's going to have some pretty, well, it's Halloween month, so it'll have some scary stuff in there, but I'm going to just wait and let you guys see it. Alright, man. Have a good one. We appreciate you. Take care.